Okay?
Well, good morning everybody and welcome to a big celebration today, and this is episode 40 now of our show. 40 episodes on, and here we are now with episode 40. Well, part one of our television shows have concluded. Now this is part two. On Friday we talked about the news and how it was made. And what interests me about the news is how much the news has changed. But the most exciting thing today on the show is the roads. Now, if you watch the roads, well, a lot of the television presenters win awards for the best television show. And the personalities. And also today we'll be talking about the famous man, Reg Grundy, and also another television classic, Neighbours and It Seems. So joining me now in the studio, or outside the studio I should say, it's a very good morning to Nat and Gus.
Morning, Barry.
Welcome to you both.
Thank you very much for having me on air.
Well, today on the show we're going to talk more about the history of television and where it has got to today. Now, 67 years on, wow, what an achievement. And today we're going to talk about Neighbours and It Seems. Now, Neighbours aired, like I said, on the 7 Network on Monday, March 18th, 1985. But sadly, it didn't last on the 7 Network, sad to say. But, you know, television has a turn game, you know? It doesn't stay on the same channel. So, on the 20th of January, like I said, on Friday, on episode 39, Channel 10 happily picked it up. And Nat, do you remember Neighbours?
I do remember Neighbours. I'm not a big fan, I should say. I know it's a very popular show, but it was not really a program that I watched, but I'm very aware of how popular it really is.
So, some of the characters like Jason Donovan, Kylie Minogue, Alan Dale, Stephen Dennis, Anne Hattie, and all those characters. Now, forgive me for saying that Neighbours was set in Erinsborough, which is in Victoria. That's where it first began its life, and it's still filmed there today. Now, the Grundy organisation produced that program. The Grundy organisation is now called Fremantle Media. And later on the show we'll be talking about a little bit about Reg Grundy, because I brought a book in today which we will have a look at, and also we'll be talking about some of the shows he produced. okay, and the stories behind that. So, you know, I have to say television has come a long way from 1956 until now. So many of the characters which you used to watch growing up have either retired or passed on. So now on the show we're going to talk about the different Neighbours themes. Now the first Neighbours theme was sung by Barry Crocker. Now most of you may have grown up watching Barry Crocker, and it could be you. Now, did you ever watch that show? I don't know whether I did. So Barry Crocker sang the first Neighbours theme, and it had a piano with it, and then a groovy theme, and then revamped different Neighbours tunes. So you know, Neighbours has come a long way, and the executive producer was Reg Watson. Now, again, viewers, don't be surprised about how good my memory is, because it is pretty good. So I watched a couple of DVDs of Neighbours last night, and leading up to today's show. So, you know, like I said, Neighbours has come a long way, and also, some of the props for Neighbours too, they've changed. Some of the sets, you name it. And Neighbours was a classic. And one episode I do remember, from episode 392, when Paul, Mike and Scott were involved in a crash. So here's how it happened. Clive got engaged to someone, and then Willie and Fran, Clive and his fiance, and Clive was showing the fiance the ring, and Clive went ta-da, and then let the brakes off, and the plane rolled down the hill, and Paul was driving a new car which Scott had purchased. Well, Jim had purchased the car, and as they were driving, taking it for a test run, okay, they rounded the corner, and then as they were driving along, they saw the plane, and Paul and Scott yelled out, "Paul, watch out," and then the car skids and then rolled several times. And then Clive Gibbons, who was the doctor, says, "Quick, you hold him while I check the car." And then they check all three people in the car, and then Clive says, "Take Sam and ring for an ambulance fast as you can. Paul, Mike and Scott, they're hurt." And Paul said, "Get us out of here, will you, mate?" Here's that about marvellous memory.
You certainly have a marvellous memory, Barry, of episode 392. It's certainly been going for a lot of years, hasn't it? The Neighbours. It's been around for a long, long time.
And Scott was unconscious in the accident, and poor panics. What are we going to do? And then Clive says, we've got to wait until the ambulance. And then Clive says, go over to the Robinsons and let them know what happened. And so the lady carries the baby and knocks on the Robinson's door. And Jim opens the door. He was drinking half a bottle of orange juice when he's told the news. So Jim grabs his coat and says, I'll go to Erinsborough Hospital. I'll call you as soon as I know anything. And then Charlene, who was played by Kylie Minogue back then, receives devastating news about Scott being injured in the accident. And Madge goes, Helen, and then Madge goes, what's wrong? And Helen says, can you look after Lucy for a while, please? And then Helen says, the boys have had a car accident. I'm not sure how badly they're hurt.
Would this be your favourite episode, Barry, that you're sharing with us?
It was my favourite episode.
And it was a number of years ago that Kylie Minogue debuted in Neighbours, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was 1986.
Right.
So again, don't be surprised about my memory, guys. So, you know, basically, when Jim and Paul arrived at the hospital, along with Des and Daphne, and Des asked what the hell happened anyway. Well, Jim asked that, and Des goes, I don't know, mate. All I know is they brought the car somehow. And then Mike, who was played by Guy Pearce, also was involved in the rollover. So during that time, the ambulance loaded Scott into the ambulance, and he was a guy with the moustache, because Clive and the other paramedic sat in the back with Scott. And Clive said, I'll see you at home later. And he goes, let's go. And then closes the back of the ambulance, gets in, stops the ambulance, and turns on the siren. So you may have seen that particular episode. Well, we're going to take a break now and charge up the battery so we can continue this. You're watching the celebration of my show, episode 40. It is now, and this is the continuation of television and Neighbours. So don't you go away, viewers. Plenty more coming up.
We'll be right back.
And the time is now coming up to 10 minutes to 10 o'clock. Beautiful Monday morning. You're with Nash, Barry and Gus, good morning. Thanks for joining us on episode 40 today. Welcome back. It's 9:53 now on Monday morning, and welcome back to you and to all the viewers out there. Well, today we're continuing the second part of our 3-part special. This is the second part today, and the third part is coming up today as well. Now, I'd like to talk about the person, Reg Grundy, and if I can get Gus to put the book cover up on your screen now. There he is.
Look at that. I'll put that right there.
And
That's it.
I think you better hold
No,
it.
it's good. Sounds good.
So there's Reg Grundy there. So, Reg Grundy, of course, was the man who was behind some of the productions of most of the television shows that have now finished. Okay, and we're going to read a bit about him now, and on the back, what does it say?
My philosophy has always been to be local to be global. That's his quote.
And on the front there, you can see him doing Wheel of Fortune. There he is there.
There he is.
There he is. Back in 1959. And here he is on the cover today.
And that's him. Now, it's 1959.
So let's read on about Rich. So open him up, and
This bit.
here's Gus now to read a bit.
Reg Grundy is one of Australia's most successful media entrepreneurs. The man behind such shows as Wheel of Fortune, Sale of the Century, Perfect Match, Prisoner, Sons and Daughters, Young Doctors, and a host of others, including the great international hit Neighbours. He had a talent for creating winners, but he did not always have the Midas touch. His career was one of dizzying heights and terrifying lows. In this book, the notoriously private person tells his life story for the first time. The true story behind the man behind the shows. Written in his words, it's full of colourful and charming anecdotes from over 30 years in Australian and international television, starting with the very early days of broadcasting. It's a story of ingenuity, risk-taking, courage, salesmanship, and amazing determination, with contributions from a host of media insiders and fascinating photographs from Australian broadcasting history.
So you can see many of the logos there which are inside the book.
This is the... Sorry, Barry, I'll just cover you for a little bit there. These are all of the different logos.
So excuse me. So this is what Reg looked like in the early days. So let's read on about it.
What would you like to read?
So we'll pause that. Somehow or other, I am 85 years old. I'm told I don't look it, and I certainly don't feel it. I look on my passport to make sure. Yep, 85. Joy and I are about to leave. How sweet. The is going on a park in Sydney and moved down to Melbourne for the party. Here's Gus now to take up the story with that.
Not a celebration of my birthday, you understand. Joy won't have a bar of that, but a celebration just the same. It was earlier in the year when I realised something was going on, something I knew nothing about. We were in Bermuda, working our usual 7-day week and living in a beautiful house. It faced onto a quiet harbour that wrapped around an inlet, giving us our own saltwater lagoon. Perfect. What a great place to spend most of our waking hours staring into a computer screen. We'd moved from Australia to Bermuda when my ambition stretched from America to our west, to the United Kingdom and Europe on our northeast. We return to Australia whenever we can, but Bermuda is the place where we still spend most of each year. Our first Bermuda home had been on a cliff facing the Atlantic with long tails, the national emblem of Bermuda, wheeling and diving into the crevices. Then we built our current home to accommodate our ever-increasing collection of clothes, shoes and accessories, as well as our books and my photographic gear. A perfect solution if a tad on the expensive side. Wow, that is amazing.
So, Reg was 85. Now, we won't go on about the history of it, but he certainly produced a lot of shows. And you may have seen the logos when the program started and ended, and at the end of each game show, the announcers would say, "This is a Grundy television production." And the announcers would say their names, like John Dick speaking, if you remember that. And the executive in charge of the game shows was Bill Mason, and another guy called Andrew Brooke. Now he produced most of, he was helping Reg. So, like I've said, much has changed since television began its life. And 67 years on, what an achievement for television.
It certainly had. It's gone from the days of black and white, when it first was produced, wasn't it? What year did colour TV come out?
The 1st of March, 1975.
Wow.
And I forgot to mention a cartoon, Woody Woodpecker. Do you remember him? And this is Family Feud in there, right? And some of the logos there, East Street, and Prisoner Cell Block H. So we might even look at some of the logos today. And there are some of them on your screen there now. Now, in 1994, the Grundy organisation was sold to Fremantle Media. And that's where it is today. So like I said, viewers and television watchers out there, you know, television changes. So we won't go on about why the shows were shown, because we haven't got all day for that. But what Nat and I can tell you about some of the station slogans, like that you may remember Win Television.
I do remember Win TV.
It's a great place to be. Turn us on Win TV, okay? NBN Television Newcastle, NBN We're With You, if you remember that, if you were growing up in Newcastle, okay? So many station slogans, guys, and logos. So, you know, the history of television. Some of the shows have now been finished for a long time, or not been on our screen for a long time. And down in Victoria, GMV6, which was in Shepparton, changed its name to Vic Television in early 1990. After a meeting, and Channel 6's logo was Living Your Kind of Life. We will show you that logo today also on YouTube back on the big screen there. So guys, television has gone from black and white to colour in 67 years. Now, it's hard to believe how far television has come. Can you believe it now?
I'm so sorry, Barry. I was deeply involved in reading all about Reg Grundy's book over here, and I missed your question.
Can you believe how far television has come?
It certainly has come a long way.
And the technology has been well advanced too. Like we spoke about the cameras on Friday and what cameras we use to make the news, and some of the sets have changed too. Like from typewriters with phones and dials, you name it. It's all done on computer now. So the story of Australian television has not ended yet, because we've got plenty more to bring you about the television and test pattern and the closed downs. Now, a closed down was when the announcer said that's all we've got time for, or that's all we've got, and then give the good night. And some television stations, they went back on air at 6 a.m. in the morning, sometimes 7 a.m., sometimes in the afternoon. So guys, television has come a very, very long way. It really has. And it's time for another break on the show now. Time for me to have a cup of tea, and we'll continue the show after the break. The time is 7 minutes past 10 o'clock. Back with you shortly. I'm Barry Fair. Don't you touch that dial, because there's plenty more coming up on today's show. And the history of television. Welcome back. The time is now 18 minutes after 10 o'clock here on Monday morning. And it's great to have your company wherever you may be watching on this Monday morning. Now, I'd like to tell you how my own television production started. I decided to produce some shows and start a YouTube channel by letting viewers like yourself know how far I have got with my YouTubing. Now, my YouTubing career started in 2014 with a staff member holding a camera so I could talk to the viewers. Now, the most annoying part was having to take your SD cards out, put them on the desktop and onto YouTube. But now, with a flick of a switch on the USB, bang, I've got it on desktop so I can bring it to you within a blink of an eye. Okay? And I didn't start properly producing shows until the end of 2019. Some of the productions I've done, some of the intros I've done, The Wheel of Fortune, Richmond Hill, Chopper Squad, 2 bits from Channel 9, and one which you saw, which you haven't seen yet. Okay? Now, some of the locations which I'm filmed at are Palm Beach, outside of the dog park at Narromina, next to my house. I've done filming in Cromer, Alambie, the city, everywhere. So, my television, my YouTubing has come a long way, and I even moved my productions from here to Brisbane in 2022. And of course, you may have seen some of the Brisbane shows, and we will show you some of my Brisbane shows today also. Some of my filming had to be cancelled last year due to COVID, and that was after I did episode 21. I was not very well whilst I was doing that show. And then episode 22 had to be in isolation. And my isolation ended in Queensland on Sunday, June 26th. Now again, don't be surprised at how good my memory is, because it is. And then in July, I filmed some of the places in Brisbane where I filmed was on the Story Bridge, Scarborough, Shorncliffe, the shopping centres, and in the studio at home, I had a segment called In the Studio where we had cook-ups, and then in January of this year, I moved to Ipswich before moving my productions back here to Sydney in February. I started back here at St. Times on the 21st of February. So, like I've said, on the earlier part, in the first part of the show today, you know, my YouTubing has gone from having someone hold a camera to me doing the show myself, which I am quite capable of doing. So, like I've said, I've had to cancel some of my YouTube production because of COVID, and like I said, Nat and Gus, okay, it was very frustrating when I had to cancel some of the production, but you know, if you're sick, you're sick. Here's Nat.
That's right. If you're sick and you can't work or you can't do your productions, you've got to rest, don't you? Wait till you get your energy back and then you bounce back and get back into it again.
And which brings us on nicely, okay, guys, to some of the commercials that were aired on television, like Vegemite, Kraft Peanut Butter, Cottage Jam, Cottage Cordial. You may recall the jingle, my dad picks a fruit that goes to Cottage
Makes the
Cordial that I like best, and Edward did too. The quick shots. And do you remember the Gobbledoc commercial from 1987 where it goes, ah, chippies? Remember that one? Well, this is Gobbledoc where he hides in the supermarket store and takes packets of chips off the shelf. And do you remember Heinz baked beans and spaghetti? Who put the pan in spaghetti? Heinz did. Remember Heinz? And do you remember the Wheat Bix ad will keep them strong and healthy with golden flakes of wheat. Wheat Bix only goodness. If what kids love to wheat, Aussie kids, our Wheat Bix kids, Aussie kids, our Wheat Bix kids, Aussie kids, our Wheat Bix kids, Aussie kids, our Wheat Bix kids. So that was in 1987. And another jingle, Foster's. There's nothing like a Foster's, that's true. And do you remember the Tooheys ad where I feel like a Tooheys, I feel like a Tooheys, I feel like a Tooheys or two. And do you remember Martine? Hit him with the old key bow, hit him with the old key bubble. And what about Meadow Lee? You want to be congratulated. Remember that one? And what about Australians love their Calvinator? Remember that one? No? Well, maybe you should check them out on YouTube. Nat, what was your favorite commercial?
I remember Aeroplane Jelly.
I like Aeroplane Jelly. Yep, I remember.
That one, Barry?
I do indeed, yep.
Vegemite kids, because I love Vegemite.
We're happy little Vegemites, as bright as black and blue. We all enjoy our Vegemite for breakfast, lunch and tea. Our mummy said we're growing stronger every single week because we love our Vegemite. We all adore our Vegemite. It puts a rose in every cheek. So again, guys, don't be surprised about how amazing my memory is. So, you know, with television commercials, some of them have been revamped, like the one for Vegemite where it celebrated its 100th birthday this year. I've also done a show on that. So Gus, do you have a favorite television show?
Television show or television ad?
Both.
I think my favourite ad was Aeroplane Jelly. I think that was, I used to sing that one all the time around the house. That jingle just got stuck right in the head.
Catchy jingle.
It's a catchy one, they've done well. Favourite show though, that's tricky. Ooh. I think I don't know, Barry, actually. Who do you pick from?
What's your favourite
What's your
TV
favourite?
program?
What's mine at the moment?
Yep.
Well, I enjoy watching dramas on YouTube and, of course, the news. With, excuse me, which of course is very depressing at this moment. But we mustn't hold that against them. So, television, guys, it has just come a long way, and you know, video cassette recorders were in demand in the late 70s. And an old commercial that I remember was Chandler's. We stand behind the product we sell, and you're in good hands at Chandler's. Now, Chandler's was an electrical appliance shop, which was here in Sydney, and of course here in Brisbane. Now, do you remember Chandler's now?
Chandler's? No, I don't. I don't recall that. Was that a drama show?
No, it was a commercial.
Commercial? No, I don't recall that one at all.
We stand behind the product we sell. And Melanie Island worked for Chandler. She did a couple of commercials for them and also read the news on Channel 9 in Brisbane when I was growing up. So guys, this has been the second part of our special today. Well, 3 parts, but I'm going to be adding a 4th part to this, and it will be on Friday, where I'll be talking about some of the reasons why some of the television shows had to be dismissed. Now, and I'll pause that. So in our 4th part on Friday, we'll be going over some of the dismissals of our shows, and that's where we must leave it. and the number that we rely on 24 hours a day, that is 000. Please do not ring that unless you've got an emergency. Kidnap the close.
Thanks everybody for joining this morning. Enjoy your week and we'll be back on Friday.
To bring you part 4 of this. So I'm Barry there, and Nat, and Gus, and River Dirty.
Bye.
Bye-bye.